Hi, and welcome to week 10, Deepen Your Learning. This week we're going to talk about cells and human development. I do want to point out as we talk about this that human development is very similar to development of other mammals, and then a little bit less similar to all other vertebrates, and a little bit less similar to each widening group of organisms. But for example, when we look at this picture of a human cell, there's nothing in the picture that makes this cell human versus anything else that is a eukaryote. So basically all organisms that have more than one cell. But when we're talking about human development in particular, all humans begin as a single cell. What happens is the sperm and egg join up together, and though those are two cells, they combine to form a single cell. Then those cells are going to start dividing. So this is happening in a pre-embryonic stage. So we're just going to have some cell division, and that cell division is going to be pretty rapid. And once we have enough cells dividing, what we're going to end up with is tissue. Typically, tissue is defined as a group of cells which perform a similar function. So initially, especially in the pre-embryonic stage, all the cells are going to be doing pretty much the same thing. So they are all the same type of tissue. It's not until later that they start to do different stuff. So again, we're looking at the pre-embryonic stage. So we have fertilization where the sperm and the egg combine to form a single cell. This right here shows an example of cell division. So each of those little bumps would be a different cell. And then the only thing that starts to happen here is we have the body axes. So the different areas of the body are established. I don't mean something so specific as even limbs, organs, or anything like that, but just that pre-layout of what the body will look like. Then, as we have more differentiation, tissues are going to begin to form organs. So this is kind of going in a weird direction, but we start off with just molecules, which form cells. We saw cells divide into tissues, and then those tissues will form organs. Each organ is composed of several different types of tissues, but that's going to start there in the embryo stage. So the embryo stage can still be very early on in development, and it's going to extend for quite a while, several weeks. The cells start to specialize, which means instead of all of them looking the same, each cell group is going to start to be a little bit different and be different kinds of tissues and then different types of organs. There are 3 levels of cells within human development. The inside layer is called the endoderm. The endoderm cells will become our digestive tract and all the organs that we have that are associated with that. The outside layer is called the ectoderm, and the ectoderm is going to become our skin and skeleton. And then the middle layer, called the mesoderm, is going to become everything else, which are going to be all of our different types of organs. As those organs continue to develop, they will form what's called organ systems. So I already mentioned the digestive tract. So we have several organs that are associated with digestion. So they will all join together and become the digestive tract. We will have reproductive systems. We'll have respiratory systems, nervous systems. All of those things are these different groups of cells, tissues, organs, all that stuff that are performing a generalized function together. And so they're going to start to join together during the fetus stage. The fetus stage is going to go all the way from the end of the embryonic stage up until birth. So there's a lot that's happening in the fetus stage. since we've pretty much formed all our organs in the embryonic stage, we're just getting ready to be born during the fetus stage. So that involves linking everything up together and then developing things so that they're ready for the outside world. For example, lung development is a really important part that or thing that happens during the fetus stage. And even though lungs exist much, much before a full term birth, they are not ready to function in the outside world until very, very near to full term. And that's often one of the focuses, a primary focus on premature infants, is their continued lung development. And of course, after we were born, well, everything has joined together to create a whole body. In my opinion, it's nothing short of incredible that all of this complexity of our bodies begins with a single cell. There is so much that happens before we were even born, not even counting all of that stuff that I just talked about, where every cell knows what to do. It knows how to develop to become all the different parts of our body. But all the other things too, cells that know that they shouldn't be there. We talked about, for example, that we have a tailbone in our fetal development stage, that not just a tailbone, we have a whole tail and it goes away. We also have gills that go away. We also have webbing between our fingers that go away. So not only do cells know what they should become, they know what they shouldn't become. And there's just such this incredible complexity. And I think that, like all the other stuff that we've talked about, it shows how much Heavenly Father cares about us, that all of this stuff led to here. Before, we've been talking about really big things like the universe and literally billions of years of history to get to a prepared earth for us. I think this is kind of the opposite. We're looking from small to big. And I think it's amazing the complexity of even the things so small, a single cell, and the DNA it contains also directly relate to God's plan. And I think it's just another great opportunity to see how special we are to Him.